What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to episode 28 of the Axis of Combat podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Ray Boogie Kahuna, BK from the BX, my co-host.
Hugo the boss, Hugo got next. Hugo in all orange because summer is all over. Welcome Oktoberfest, you feel me? And before we get into any of this hoopla, you guys already know the routine. Follow, like, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right now, enjoying the visuals, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, please subscribe, guys. Please show us some love. We have a goal internally here. We want to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We think it's very doable because we are right there. If we exceed it, great. We do not want to fall short. Show this podcast some love. It costs you free $99 to subscribe to all of these platforms and get money-making bets. Free content, free money, free subscriptions. You already know. Show us some love, ladies and gents.
Just hit that subscribe button, ladies and gents, please.
And before we get into any of the fights today, we're going to go over our bets from last weekend. Not a great night for either one of us, but it's all good. We had some value bets, so it's going to seem like we lost a lot when we really didn't. And we're going to, talk about some of the, who we're going to fade for next time and who we can't trust for next time, because I got a lot to say, but a little bit to say, because this got to be a quick one today. So we're going to get through this fast. But we got Liang Na by sub. I had Liang Na by sub round one.
What's that? I don't know. There you go.
Liang Na knockout round one. By the way, value bets, because one was plus 1,800 plus 3,000. So I only put like 3/4 of a unit on it. So it's like nothing. Kinoshita money line for both of us. Njokuani money line for both of us. Great fight, by the way. Amazing. Tafa money line. Oh, no. Sorry, ladies and gents. We got that one right. Aaron Blanchfield, I had my biggest bet of the night. My brother picked Talia Santos, unfortunately.
Why you gotta say unfortunately like that?
It was a great fight. I just think she gave away the fight, but she's still a stud. She's still a stud in this weight class for sure. Who's gonna get faded next time and will probably forever be getting faded after this? Ryan Spann. We lost on the money line to him, and he knocked out one of our parlays for knockout and for the under. He had him dead to rights in the second round. Didn't put volume out. So Ryan Spann's officially on the faded list. He's there with Dontel Mays and some of the other faded fighters that I will no longer be touching. Oh, I got someone else for you guys later too, but for boxing, and he's faded completely as well. But I lost on my Holloway Bedoya Nakamura inside the distance money line. Well, Bedoya money line, Nakamura inside the distance, and Holloway by knockout of decision. Hit that one, lost on the other two. A fifth of a unit on top of Spann via knockout. Obviously, because Spann didn't do the job. Kinoshita and Nakamura inside the distance from my brother. Messed up because, Kinoshita got faded. Nakamura had a tough out against this guy. He won, but the guy was much tougher than a lot of people anticipated. Half a unit on the Njokuani under. Tafa Porta under. Nakamura Garcia under. And Smith Spann under. And Smith Spann under and Nakamura Garcia under on my side. Half a unit. Now moving on to PFL. We only had one bet that night for Clay Collard. He cashed out for us.
Payday.
Had to get it somewhere. Then we had Alexander Usyk via decision, which, by the way, should have hit, but Dubois quit. So he's also permanently on my faded list because he got knocked out with like a check straight. It wasn't even like a full-fledged punch. And he hurt him to the body, and then he goes up and he says he got robbed in the fight. But if he thought he damaged him in that round, then he could have damaged him again and finished him in the last 3 rounds. Gave up, faded, can't bet on a quitter. I'm done. And then we bet Anderson's decision. His opponent, I forgot his name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He got dusted.
That was the worst I've ever seen him look. I feel like he came in to collect the paycheck. And I'm going to say it just like that. He's been in there with Zhang. He's been in there with some good fighters, and he hasn't gotten knocked out. So he looked older, but he looked like he was in there to collect the paycheck. Me and my brother both got that one wrong, and I was the one, I bet over 4.5 rounds. I cleared it by 5 seconds.
6 seconds, I think.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
And listen, as the great Dominic Toretto says, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
A win's a win, baby.
Winning's winning.
Yep.
So I will take that gladly.
That to the bank.
Look, not the best night for us, but that's what we're here for. We're here to rebound, get better bets, and we're going to make sure we get it to you this weekend.
Speaking of this weekend, UFC Paris. Gane versus Spivac. This card is a mess.
Yep.
Just the general overview. You want to hear some of the fights that got canceled or rearranged. Zarah Fairn, that's how you say her name, supposed to be fighting Haley Cowan. Cowan pulled out. Oezdemir is supposed to be fighting Asmat. Asmat pulled out. Gomis is supposed to be fighting Lucas Almeida. Almeida pulled out. Nasrat Haparak supposed to be fighting Sam Patterson. That fight completely fell apart. Sam Patterson pulled out. And we got Taylor Lapilus fighting Muin Gafarov. Gafarov pulled out. This card is supposed to have originally like about 13 fights on it. It's down to currently 11. A lot of fights got shifted around. A lot of last minute, replacements. There's going to be some fights here that TBD.
Yep.
So
or big stayaways, to be honest.
When we get to them, we'll let you guys know. But first fight in the prelims. We got Zarah Fairn going one-on-one with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of names here I am going to butcher. Just a heads up.
Who?
Yeah. Fairn, 6-5 in UFC, 3-fight losing streak. Hometown girl, hailing from France, fighting from France, 39 years old, going one-on-one with the debuting Jacqueline Cavalcanti.
Yeah.
I think I nailed that. 5-1, hailing from Portugal, fighting out of Portugal, 26 years old. Fairn here was originally, like I mentioned before, supposed to be fighting Cowan. Cowan ended up pulling out. Cowan pulls out of a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that girl. I think even though Farin's the hometown girl here, she's on the 3-fight losing streak. I think they were going to serve her up to Cowan. Cowan pulls out, so now I think they are serving her up to the Portuguese girl that's coming in here. Closer fight. Both are going to probably want this standing up. Both of them are not really going to grapple. I'm going to lean Jacqueline here as the pick. Only because I think she's going to have slightly more volume. She does have some disadvantages, though. Farin's the bigger girl. She's the longer girl. A little more low output. Her advantages are that she has the UFC experience, even though she's lost 3 in a row. But I'm liking the newcomer here. What about you?
Same. Nice and easy with this. I don't think this fight is going to get any of my money because...
Horrible fighter.
Both of them. And my money is not getting anywhere near this fight.
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
Very low level MMA. These two arguably, not even arguably, I think we can all agree that they don't belong in the UFC. And my lean is Jacqueline just because I don't think Farin's very good. If Jacqueline uses somewhat of her wrestling, I think she's probably going to win this fight a little easier.
I agree.
But she doesn't really use her wrestling, so this fight is a toss-up, and I'm not going to bet on a girl who's minus 380 making her UFC debut. No, not with 6 fights.
Wait, who's the favorite here?
Cavalcanti. She's minus 380.
Oh, my God.
No. You might as well just take a shot on Dos Santos.
Yeah, because normally I would say dog or pass, but I don't like Zarah at all either. So It's like this fight might just be a complete stay away.
Yeah, stay away. Stay away.
Maybe it goes the distance if you're looking to get a little spicy, but I don't know.
Low level, man.
Yeah, this is
Dangerous.
This is a rough card.
Dangerous.
This is a rough fight on the card. So,
yeah. But this next fight isn't.
Next fight we have here in the prelims. Farid Basharat, 1-on-1 with Kleydson Rodrigues. The ferocious Farid Basharat, 10-0. Perfect. Fighting out of England, hailing from Afghanistan, 26 years old, going 1-on-1 with KR, Kleydson Rodrigues, 8-2, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Brazil, 27 years old. The lean here is Basharat. Just keep it, nice, simple, clean. Kleydson's a tough dude. He is moving up in weight here. I think Kleydson's probably path to victory is probably early to catch Basharat. I think the longer this fight goes, the more you got to lean Basharat. Basharat, I think, is better overall, almost in every position, probably except for power. Basharat also beat my man Blackshear.
Who we are very high on this podcast.
That win is aging like fine wine.
Yeah, the finest wine.
The finest of wine.
El vino.
I was gonna think of I can't think of another wine. I'm not a wine drinker, guys. The one you drink with steak. What's that one called?
Anything that's red.
Anything that's red with a fine steak. That's what you want. That's Basharat.
That's Basharat.
That's the best Basharat to win against Blackshear.
Yeah.
A steak dinner with some fine red wine. So sweet.
Silver Oak.
Sure. But yeah, just keep it simple. I think Basharat, the rightful favorite. What is he? What's his number here?
Minus 340. I think that's too high.
Probably a little too high because again, Kleyson's tough. Kleydson can clip him.
Kleyson's not going to be undersized in this fight either.
Kleyson's not going to be undersized in this fight. I agree. And Kleyson's he's tough, and I can see this fight going the distance. Kleyson's never been finished.
I agree.
Problem is, I can't bet a guy who lost to CJ Vergara
and got out wrestled by CJ too.
And he's coming up in weight to fight a guy who just beat Blackshear.
Yeah. Even though Blackshear had him in trouble at the end of that fight.
It was his debut, right?
Possibly. I'm not sure about that actually. I don't think so. I think Blackshear was.
Yeah, Blackshear was his debut fight.
After the Contender Series, right?
Yep, after Contender Series.
Okay, so never mind.
So yeah, let's keep it simple. I like Blackshear. What about you, my brother?
You like Basharat?
I like Basharat and Blackshear. Blackshear's not fighting, but
I like him.
Again, he's the steak to my wine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Basharat for all the reasons that you mentioned. I don't think Kleyson's going to be undersized in this fight. I think Kleydson does possess the power to give him some discomfort as well as the physicality. But Basharat is shown to be a top prospect. I think he is a hammer. I think he is very technical. He knows how to stay. He knows how to stay out of trouble. He knows how to stay in the pocket and then to continue to stay out of trouble. And his grappling is no joke. And I could see Kleydson getting out-grappled by Basharat. I don't see Basharat stopping him. I see this probably going to decision. Basharat's the bet. I don't know how I'm going to bet him yet, but I'm going to find a way to, either parlay him or either take him by decision. I think those are the ways I'm leaning. Parlaying, I think, is a sure thing. By decision is a questionable thing. So I'll keep you posted on the decision, but Basharat probably via decision.
All right, next fight we have here in the prelims. A debuting Nora Cornolle. Nora Cornolle. One-on-one with Joselyne Edwards. Cornolle. I hope I'm saying her name right.
Who?
6-1. Fighting out of France. Another French girl here. Hailing from France, 33 years old, making her debut against La Pantera. Joselyne Edwards. Man, I'm 13-4. Fighting out of Panama, hailing from Panama, 27 years old. This fight is a contender for which fight is worse, this one or the first one. Another low-level women's fight.
This one I feel is more bettable.
Yeah, probably. I'm leaning Edwards here.
Yeah.
As long as she doesn't get hit to the body, because she's got a very soft, vulnerable body. I think she wins here. I think she's got she's a little more high volume. I think two of her best weapons here are her kicks and her clinch, like what do you call that? That tie clinch.
Yep. What do you call that?
Yeah, listen. Nora, making her debut, her only loss is actually to Cavalcanti, who's fighting, on the prelim opener.
Who we are not very high on.
Yeah, exactly. So that should probably tell you a lot here. I mean, Joselyne Edwards ain't no world beater either, but
I think she's better than this girl.
I think she is. And
take a guess at the line.
Is this something crazy? Is Joselyne like minus 300?
No.
Really?
Minus 112.
Damn, they got it as a pick.
I think this is bettable.
Okay.
I like Joselyne a lot in this spot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we might be taking a shot on Joselyne Edwards. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right. I was thinking about something crazy here.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, again, is Cornolle? Nora. I'm just gonna call her Nora.
Yo, don't even pronounce these people's names. You're spending like a minute just trying to pronounce the names correctly.
She has some power, and she could rack up. Again, if it hits anywhere on the body of Joselyne Edwards going down. And this is another one of these fights where if whoever ends up on top on the ground is probably winning the fight too. Joselyne is probably more than likely to be the one who is initiating takedowns, though.
Exactly.
She's got that. So for that reason, I'm leaning Edwards. What about you?
Same thing. All the reasons you listed. Joselyne Edwards knows how to manage distance pretty well too. And I think she's gonna do a good job of knowing when to be in and knowing when to be out against this girl who lost to a very low tier fighter who's opening up this card. So yeah, Joselyne Edwards is definitely a lean. Probably gonna bet her. I'm tempted to bet her at that line just because it's a pick'em essentially. So, and I don't think it should be a pick'em, even though homegirl can crack, but miss me with that shit. UFC debut, I'm staying away from her.
All right, next fight we have in the prelims. We got Ange Loosa going one-on-one with Rhys McKee. The last ninja, Ange Loosa, 9-3, hailing from Switzerland, fighting out of Switzerland, 29 years old, going against Skeletor, Rhys McKee, 13-4-1, hailing from Ireland, fighting out of Ireland, 27 years old. I like this fight. I think this fight's gonna be pretty
Fun.
Fun, high pace probably. McKee was in the UFC, coming out of Cage Warriors. Got washed by Kamzat and Morono back to back.
Good fighters.
Left or got released. I'm not sure which one. Coming back from cage fight is now on a 3-fight winning streak. Ange Loosa, I think athletic freak. I like this guy. This guy's got like talent. Like he's got like untapped potential, I feel like.
I agree.
I think the key to victory here for Ange Loosa is the grappling. As good as McKee is striking, a lot of Irish fighters are very good at striking. Can't defend a takedown. Gets taken down pretty easily. Ange Loosa's fight against the Fire Marshal was able to take him down, drown him. Looked a little scary in the third round, but I think that was because they were fighting like an elevation. I don't think Ange Loosa's the type to gas. He can gas, but it's not like he's got bad cardio, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning Ange Loosa here. I think if he implements grappling, I think he's going to look like a pretty... Well, actually, what's the line here?
Minus 166 for Ange Loosa. Plus 140 for McKee. So I think it's lined pretty good.
Pretty fairly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it comes to striking, I mean, Ange Loosa's got some power, but I think Rhys McKee's a little slicker on the feet.
He's also bigger.
Is he?
I believe so.
What are the attributes we're looking at here?
I believe McKee is 6'2" with a 78-inch reach. Ange Loosa's 5'10" with a 74-inch reach.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah.
If you want the real.
I think if Ange Loosa drags him down to the ground, I think he's going to beat him up.
I agree.
But,
I agree 100%.
Yeah, so I'm leaning Loosa.
Yeah. I'm on Loosa as well. For all the reasons you listed. I think if this fight hits the mat, I think it could be a one-sided ass whipping. I really do. McKee is good. He's okay on the floor, but he's just, I think Ange, he's just getting a bad rep because he's been in gunfights with guys who just throw a little more heat than him sometimes, even though he melted AJ Fletcher. And it wasn't Salt Lake City, but they were both under those height restrictions with the altitude. So, and he melted AJ. So I'm on Ange Loosa, and I like him a lot. I think he's the goods. I think this is a pretty favorable matchup for him, actually. So, not say it's going to be a walk in the park, but he should win this fight.
All right, next fight we have in the prelims, we got Taylor Lapilus going one-on-one with Caolán Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Taylor, double impact, 18-3.
All right.
Hey, but that's his nickname.
He ain't John Claude. He ain't John Claude, bro.
This is Bruce Lee shit.
He ain't about that life, my boy. He ain't going no fucking Kumite. I want to hear this shit.
Hey, man, you never know, man. Double impact here. He's 18-3, fighting out of France. Hometown guy, 31 years old, fighting out of France. Going one-on-one with the Don. Caolán Lundgren. I think that's how you say his last name.
I think you're right.
A perfect 8-0. Fighting out of Tyrone, Ireland.
Tyrone.
Hey, unless I'm pronouncing that wrong too. I'm not too sure. 27 years old. This fight, unfortunately, haven't done too much on, only because this is kind of this is one of the last minute fights that kind of just got thrown together. I don't really have a accurate read either way. So by the time this video is posted, we're going to throw a brief description right underneath the video with a quick breakdown, because I think you guys do deserve that at least. But, just being straightforward, listen, they put this together last minute. I have no idea who any of these fighters are. Gut feeling, I'm gonna lean the Frenchman.
Yeah.
Just because Irish fighters get, they haven't been doing too hot.
And they're overblown.
A little bit.
If they're undefeated.
Yeah, they're a little pumped. They get pumped. Irish fighters get pumped in the UFC.
Yeah. Well, we won't get into that discussion.
They're looking for the next McGregor, man, but
they ain't white privilege.
Don't have a break. Listen, we don't have a proper breakdown here. So we'll throw it up at the end of the video in the descriptions. And good luck with this one, I guess.
Agreed.
Next fight we have here, we got a Morgan. Oh, man. Help me with this last name, bro. Charriere? Charriere. The Last Pirate.
The Last Ninja and the Last Pirate on the same card.
We got a ninja and a pirate, bro.
Yeah.
Go on one-on-one with Manolo Zecchini.
Manolo.
I think that's it's
Manolo.
He's half Cuban, half Italian. I'm not too sure. Manolo Zecchini. I think that's his last name.
He sounds like something you order at a pizza restaurant, bro.
He sounds like a GTA character, bro. It's like, yeah, take it to Zecchini over here. You know what I'm saying? I got this car I need crushed. Listen, I don't know. The Last Pirate, Morgan Charriere. I think that's his last name. 18-9-1. Fighting out of France, hailing from France, 27 years old, going against Manolo Zecchini. 11-3. Fighting out of Italy. All right, look, I took a guess. I didn't even know he was from Italy. I sound like
the name is crazy. Yeah, it's spot on.
Fighting out of Italy, hailing from Italy, 26 years old. This fight is going to be interesting because it could be really good or it could be really boring.
Yeah.
Depending on who's dictating the fight. Zecchini.
Pizza topping.
Stop that. Pressure fighter. Uses all 8 limbs. Non-stop. He's like Marab, but he don't wrestle. He's just throwing constant volley on you. Like punches, elbows, kicks, spinning shit, flipping shit. He's just constantly in your face, just throwing wild pressure. Morgan, the fighter I would compare him to the most would be Hakeem the Dream Dawodu.
Ugh.
And I don't know if that's the most greatest. That's bad English, first of all. that's not the greatest comparison we can give, but I mean, I think it's pretty accurate. I think Morgan is the more technical fighter. I think he's the better fighter. But he's one of those guys that kind of just doesn't know how to... He fights the decision so many times. And probably could have won half the decision fights that he lost if he just would have put out a little more. You know? And that sucks. You know? I bet Hakeem. I should have known better.
He won that fight, though.
He won that fight. But the problem is he did enough to win, but not enough to really pull away with the win.
When he could have.
When he could have.
Absolutely.
And it's the same problem with Morgan. He wins these fights. He does enough to win, but not enough to pull away. So it's always when they get to decision, and when you leave it to the judge's hands, you know, don't be surprised when you get, you get reamed.
Yeah.
On the scorecards, because you know you when you're capable of doing enough and you don't do enough, it's kind of on you. That being said, I'm leaning Morgan here to win. Talking all that shit. I think Zecchini. I hope I'm saying his last name right. I think Manolo is wild enough to force the fight with Morgan, and Morgan is one of those guys where if you force the fight, he'll bring the fight. And I think I'm just going to lean on the guy who I think is a little more technical and I think could probably catch a sloppier fighter in Zecchini. Yeah, I'm leaning Morgan here for the win, not with the most confidence. Again, like I said, I just compared him to Dawodu, so take that as you will. Don't know how I'm going to bet this fight, but for a pure pick, Morgan. What about you?
I'm on the same wave with you, but what I will say is dogs might be barking from Manolo, man, you know, so
he the dog?
He's plus 280, which I think is crazy. Morgan should win this fight, but just like Kinoshita and homeboy last week that he fought, I forgot his name, I could see the pressure just breaking him at some point. Manolo just walks forward, throws a ton of volume, hits extremely hard. Can he avoid that for 15 minutes? Not too sure. I think Manolo might be a nice dog bet here, just because I think the line's a little disrespectful. Plus, he's almost 3-1. I don't think he should be 3-1. But with that said, Morgan should win. I'm not betting on minus 355 though. Miss me with that shit. So we'll see how I bet it. We'll see how we bet it. We can move on though, but I think Morgan's the lean for sure. But Manolo might be a live dog bet.
All right, next fight here. We got to kick off the main card as currently constituted. We have William Gomis going one-on-one with Yanis. Ghemmouri? Who? William Gomis, the Jaguar. Or just Jaguar. 12-2. Fighting out of France, hailing from France, 26 years old. Fighting his fellow Frenchman, Yanis Ghemmouri. I think that's what you say. The Desert Warrior. 12-1. Fighting out of France, hailing from France, 28 years old. Unfortunately, again, this is the other fight that we were referring to earlier where it got slapped together last minute. Haven't done any kind of research on either fighter, but we're bringing it up for prosperity and, I don't know. I'm looking for another word, accountability, or just, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Again, if I had just on paper, no kind of research, I think Gomis is probably the side, but I'm not entirely sure. What we will do, along with the Loughran fight, once we post this video, brief description on the fight and which side we like, and yeah, we're just gonna keep it like that. I feel like we can't really give a breakdown on the fight we haven't really looked into because it got thrown together last minute, and just don't know.
Correct. Well, I will say I think I probably would have faded Gomis against his original opponent, Lucas Almeida.
Yeah. Yes.
I think Lucas was a dog in that fight, which I think is insanity. Because I'm not very high on Gomis. I don't think he's all that great. If I'm gonna be quite frank with you, he's okay. He's okay. I think Lucas has the goods. Lucas would have not made it safe for him in the grappling exchanges. But that's neither here nor there. Gotta do a little more homework on this fight because this fight kind of just got announced. We'll see if Yanis is a live dog because right now he's trending at plus 205. I am not betting Gomis at minus 250.
No.
Unless Yanis is complete trash and I can parlay Gomis with Basharat. So, yeah, we can move on from this one. We'll put the description under the podcast.
All right, next fight on the main card, we got Volkan Oezdemir, the returning Oezdemir, going one-on-one with Bogdan Guskov.
Who?
I think I nailed that.
I think you did.
No time Oezdemir. 18-7. Fighting out of Switzerland, hailing from Switzerland, 33 years old. Going one-on-one with Bogdan Guskov. 14-2. Fighting out of Russia, hailing from Uzbekistan, 30 years old. This fight, I am not sure which way I'm going to lean. I think Oezdemir might be the side. Is he the favorite?
He is. Minus 185.
I'm just for pick's sake. I'm
Oezdemir.
gonna lean Oezdemir. He's got the experience. He's fought some dudes. I do think Oezdemir is fading though. He's definitely fallen off his peak a little bit. This Guskov guy, not too much footage on him. The footage that is out on him, he's finishing dudes like in 30 seconds or less, a minute or less. I think he's only been to the third round once. He's got hands. He's got power. Does he have it for Oezdemir? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure. Oezdemir should be the side here. It just depends on which Oezdemir kind of shows up, like, you know, mentally how he shows up. Because I thought in his Paul Craig fight, fought brilliantly. He fought good. Good game plan, stood away from, you know, anything that will get him in danger. Won that, I think, handily. And I like Paul Craig. But his fight before that against Krylov kind of fought like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Got caught by Krylov. That fight was actually pretty sick. I remember that fight. So, no bet at the moment. Leaning Oezdemir. How big of a favorite is he? Because I think
minus 185.
185. This could be dog or pass. Could be. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much I like this Guskov guy.
Yeah.
He does have hands. If his hands look... this is probably another one of these fights where, you know, not going to have like a definitive... excuse me. A definitive lean either way until maybe like weigh-ins. I would like to see these guys face off. How they look against each other. Guskov kind of looks like a Russian Anthony Smith. Even down to like the tats and stuff, to be honest. Like he just looks like a big Russian Anthony Smith, but he's got hands. But like, you know, enough rambling. I like Oezdemir here. Not with the most confidence because I've been looking to fade Oezdemir personally. I just don't know if Guskov is the guy to fade him against. But for the podcast, you got to make a pick, and I'm picking Oezdemir. What about you?
I think Oezdemir is definitely the lean here. I'm not with the biggest amount of confidence. I think if you're going to bet Guskov, I think you bet him first round knockout early. And here's why. Out of all the killers that that Oezdemir has fought, between DC all the way down to a low tier fighter like OSP, he's only been knocked out once. And that was by Jiří Procházka. I don't see, this guy can catch him early. I just don't see him being able to catch him after the first round. And it's because he doesn't really get out the first round. He's going to have UFC jitters because this is his first fight. He's also going to have a lot of things going on because Oezdemir is the best guy by far that he's fought. By far. Now, I agree with you. Oezdemir is an old 33. Like, he looks worn. He looks like he's lost a step. He doesn't look the same guy. But that makes sense because when you're the late, great Rumble Johnson sparring partner, you're going to lose years off your life in the gym. It's just how it is. You can't take too many hammers from someone that hits like Rumble. It's just, it's counterproductive to your life cycle, right? So, Oezdemir is the lean. I love violence in this fight. I think this fight does not go over. Oezdemir is not the best finisher, but he can crack, and I think he definitely can crack against a guy who probably will get tired in this contest from trying to get him out of there in the first round or the second round. But someone's going to get
They would have been packing them up.
100%. I think someone's getting folded in this fight. It's just when, where. Come close to the fight time, we'll let you know. And I do think that Guskov, if the line is high enough for like a first round KO, I'll throw a little bit of cheddar cheese on it. But I love violence in this fight. I love violence all around this fight. But yeah.
All right, now we hear featured bout, main card, UFC Paris. We got Benoit Saint-Denis going one-on-one with Thiago Moises. The God of War, Denis, 11-1. Fighting out of France, hailing from France, 27 years old. Going one-on-one with Thiago Moises, 17-6. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 28 years old. This fight is going to be good. This fight is going to be very good. For probably as long as it lasts. I got a sneaky suspicion this might not make the scorecards.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Benoit. I think Benoit, dog, durable. It's got the wrestling, mean ground and pound. Thiago, he's a solid striker, excellent grappling, crazy jiu-jitsu. I think Benoit's wrestling is going to be good enough to kind of hold off Thiago Moises' attempts on the ground. When this fight eventually does get to the ground, I think standing, it's a little closer. I lean Benoit. I think he's the harder hitter. Even though Moises has also got, he packs a punch, but his striking, I don't think is as clean. I'm going to lean Benoit here for the win. Not too sure about a bet. What about you?
I'm with you. I'm with you on Benoit Saint-Denis for everything that you mentioned and for the underlying fact that everyone with the attributes of Benoit Saint-Denis has beaten Thiago Moises. When he's in there with a guy that can kind of rough him up, be a little more physical with him, which Denis is. Denis is way bigger than him, great athlete, very explosive, very strong. Thiago might be a little more technical, but he just seems to fold when he's in there against bigger guys. And if you look at them, Joao Alvarez, Islam Makhachev, Damir Uzmagulov, Benil Dariush, all guys that have size on him because Thiago is not the biggest 55er. He's from a time past, and it's crazy because Thiago is so young.
He's only 28.
He's only 28 years old. But I see Denis. I think Denis after that Alexi Dos Santos fight where he took a fucking molly-whopping in that fight. Like could have been a career-altering fight beating.
Yeah, he was getting beat left and right in that one. That fight was sick.
But that fight was a weight class up. He's come down and he's won 3 in a row against decent competition, including Bonfim. However, let's put that with an asterisk because the combined record of his last 3 opponents in the UFC is 1-5. Bonfim being the only one who has a win in the UFC.
Yep, but Moises has definitely fought the better brand of competition. Definitely, I mean, to be honest, this fight should be
a little more closely lined, to be honest.
I agree.
Because it's minus 162 to plus 136 for Thiago Moises. But what I will say, I think there's something that Denis is doing. I mean, the way he handled Bonfim, I could see Moises doing the same kind of thing and Denis catching him with a good shot because that's the other factor in this fight. Moises' chin, very questionable. If he gets touched, he might get turned off.
I just even think even on the ground, say if Moises is on his back, he's dangerous off his back, but I still think Benoit is good enough. His wrestling is good enough to kind of mitigate the grappling.
I agree.
And also make Moises pay.
Yeah.
Because I could see Moises trying to reach for some,
like legs.
Some legs or, trying to set some stuff up from the bottom.
And getting hammered.
But Benoit is one of those dudes where he's not just going to, he's not trying to escape. I mean, he's defending, but he's also going to make you pay. He's going to pound you out. Pause.
Hey.
He's gonna hit you right in the face. For you're trying to reach for his arm, his other arm's gonna hit you in the mouth. Trying to reach for his leg, both hands are gonna hit you in the mouth. Like his ground and pound's
underrated,
legit.
And the thing is, he's a strong guy, man. Like this is what I'm saying. Like,
and he's the bigger guy, right?
Yeah, he's the bigger guy. And the thing is, Bonfim was trying to play that game with him, and he was inviting the leg kicks. I mean, the body kicks like an asshole. And immediately you seen Bonfim's expression change after the second or third one. Like, damn, this guy actually hits much harder than I thought. And like I said, with Thiago's chin, police, help! That's how I feel about it if he gets touched there. So Denis is definitely the bet. I think he's definitely going to be a bet this weekend for me. We'll see how I'm going to bet him, but I like him. His money line ain't bad either, minus 162. We'll figure it out. We'll keep you guys posted on that, but I like him a lot in this spot.
All right. Co-main event. Manon Fiorot. Man, I am butchering these French names. I apologize. Going one-on-one with Rose Namajunas. The Beast, Manon, 10-1. Fighting out of France. Hailing from France. If you notice, there's a lot of French fighters on this card.
French toast.
French fries. French. French dressing.
There you go.
Ain't missing. They're in France. Hello. Anyway, 10-1. Fighting out of France, hailing from France, 33 years old. Going one-on-one with Thug, Rose Namajunas, 11-5. Fighting out of Colorado, the good old US of A, 31 years old. Rose, moving up in weight, testing the waters of flyweight here, 125. She is going to be the smaller girl. The reach, she's going to be short by an inch here, 66 to 65. The height, 2 inches shorter, 5'7" to 5'5". Manon is a beast. She lives up to the nickname. Her output, her striking, legit. She's going to be the bigger girl. Will she bully Namajunas? She's going to try. Probably. Who knows? I'm leaning Rose here. Just gut feeling. Rose is legit. Ignore the last Carla Esparza fight. Hot dog shit. Worst fight probably in the history of the UFC.
Horrible fight.
I'm leaning on Rose's IQ here. I think she's a very smart fighter. I'm leaning on her slick jiu-jitsu here. Jiu-jitsu. And I think she's going to have maybe the speed advantage. I could be wrong about that.
I think she is.
She's going to... It's just hard for me to like picture Rose getting completely destroyed in this fight. I don't think that's going to happen. Rose has only lost to who?
Carla Esparza and her early in her UFC career. That's the truth. She beat the current champ at 115
Twice.
Weili Zhang, who I think is a fucking hammer.
She has 2 wins over.
She lost to Jessica Andrade, but she beat Jessica Andrade in the rematch.
Yeah, head kick, right?
No, that was Zayli. That was Weili Zhang. She knocked her out with a head kick in the first round, and then she beat her via decision in the second round. Jessica Andrade, she beat in the second fight. She beat her by decision, but the first fight she got slammed on her head.
Yes.
But she was winning that fight. Is the point too? So, and that was peak Jessica Andrade, not the girl that's rolling around right now fighting for paychecks. She's also lost to Karolina Kowalkiewicz, but that was when she was on her rise to the title, and she lost to Tisha Torres before she was in the UFC. So, but she beat Tisha Torres on the run back, and the only fight that she hasn't gotten back is Karolina Kowalkiewicz. But that fight right now, Rose will beat the fuck out of her.
I agree.
So she's beating everyone that's beating her. So
I think Manon, I give her the slight volume edge in terms of the striking, but I don't think she's going to outstrike Rose by much. This is just one of these rare moments where you're getting someone as talented as Rose. Not that Manon isn't talented. I think Manon is the goods. and she can go a long way in flyweight here. But Rose, to get her, especially at dog money, the caliber of fighter that she is, I got to take a shot. I don't know if she wins. I mean, gun to the head. I think I gotta lean Manon as a pure pick, only because I mean she's a big girl, man, with a lot of volume, and she could hit hard.
Yep.
But I don't think Rose moving up is gonna negate her power.
No.
And like I said, high caliber, high IQ fighter, and getting dog money on her. I gotta take the shot. I think I'm gonna bet her.
Yeah.
She might get a unit from me.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I think this fight should be a little more closely lined. I'm kind of waiting for this line to stabilize because I don't want to take Manon Furia at minus 200 on some of these betting portals. She's at minus 175 on one, but I think that's probably the fairest line. She should win this fight. She's the bigger girl, more volume. She's an underrated grappler, by the way, and that no one's talking about that. I don't know where Rose is going to win this fight outside of managing the distance better than she does. But Rose is also low output. That's what scares me. If she was a little higher output, I would probably favor her a little bit more. But what I will say is Rose has that X factor, almost like Brian Ortega, where she can finish a fight. If I had to lean who's going to finish this fight, it's probably going to be Rose. Plus, here's the other thing that a lot of people have forgotten about. I think she has confidence moving up to this weight class because she used to train with Valentina Shevchenko for a while. They were each other's sparring partners for a long time. So I think she's seen the success she had with Valentina, and she's like, I can do it against these other girls too. And she's not going to be significantly smaller. She has put on some weight. But Fariat, let me not go that far because Fariat is a big girl for this weight class.
She is.
But listen, Weili Zhang was bigger than her too. And if I don't want to do MMA math here, if you're asking me if Rose can deal with the physicality of Mariam Fariat, I'm going to say yeah, because she dealt with someone that I think if Weili Zhang moved up right now, you would favor her against Marriott. You would. And that's because of the physicality that Weili brings to the fight. And she was able to decision her in the second fight despite the physicality that she presented towards Rose.
It's just such a strange move for Rose to move up.
I don't think she has motivation. And the thing is, here's the other thing that scares me about betting her. She was talking about retirement. So I'm sold on the idea of her, but I'm also sold on the idea of Fariat. Maybe she's testing the waters. Rose is like, yep, I went up. I'm just going to go back down, fight the champion again, see if I can get there, because I think she sees some favorable matchmaking with Grasso, because Grasso's also a 115-pounder moving up.
True.
And she has moved around with Shevchenko. I don't know if they will fight each other, but I would not be surprised if they did.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where she's already beat the current champion twice. The opportunity was there for her to get a third shot, I think, without a doubt.
Correct.
And,
it's still there for her.
And it's still there.
Correct. This is her just staying active.
I feel like maybe not just staying active. Maybe I think you're right. Maybe she's just looking for a new challenge.
Correct.
She's like, you know what? I was already champion in this division.
Twice.
I beat the current champion twice.
And she is champion twice.
And Joanna retired. JJ retired. The only other person she's really got to worry about there is maybe Esparza, but she beat Esparza, right, the first time?
Who? Rose?
Rose?
No, Rose lost to her twice.
Well, there you go.
So Carla is the only one that she's fought twice that's beat her twice.
Okay.
And Carolina is the only one that's beat her that she hasn't gotten the run back with. Kovacevic.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I'm
who
with
knows?
you.
Maybe she doesn't.
The retirement word just scares me.
Maybe well, the retirement thing, I think I can chalk that up a little bit to her just being extremely disappointed that she thought she won that Carla Esparza fight.
Yeah, she's crazy.
And I'm gonna blame
Trevor Whitman,
Pat Barry's dumbass.
No, both of them.
I
Trevor was over there smiling after the fight, like he knew something that no one else knew. And I don't like when he does. Like they were so confident they were winning the fucking fight. Mm-hmm. It was not just Pat; it was also Trevor.
Yeah, but like. At least Pat was trying to give decent advice. Pat Barry, I think, is a terrible coach, and I'm not a fan of like your spouse
coaching
or like your boyfriend / girlfriend being your coach.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fan of that, you know. And on top of the fact that I think Pat Barry just overall is just overrated as a coach.
As a kickboxer and as a fighter. Just keep it real. Just all around.
This guy sucks.
Yeah. He's an ignorant dude, man. And respectfully, you know. Listen, he'll kick my ass, but that's all good. But, like, at the same time, like, you know, there's some people that you probably don't. Maybe he does something for her that motivates her out of that corner. I don't know. Yeah. I just don't. I agree with you. I don't think he gives the most technical advice. Yeah, I don't.
So the retirement thing. Remember, Rose is also a very emotional fighter. So and that I'm not gonna really hold that against her. The retirement thing, I don't think that's a thing. But I do think she's moving up for a challenge.
I think so too.
So
I think she sees. Listen, especially if Grasso wins. If Grasso and her fought, you probably have to favor Rose.
Yeah. And she's only 31 too. It's not like, you know, Rose ain't, you know, I mean, she's got the tread, but she's still young. And I think she's still in her prime. And I think, you know.
And she also hasn't taken mollywoppings in the ring.
And I think she sees an opportunity. I think you're right. I mean, Grasso's a former girl that moved up. I think she sees that as a winnable fight. If she beats Manon here,
who's a tougher fight in my opinion.
Who's like a step away from the title shot. Yeah. You know? I think she's trying to set herself up here and, you know, just build the resume, I think.
Yeah. I don't want to say she manages distance. I think her timing's a little better than Mariam Friarat's. And no disrespect to anyone that she's fought. They have fought the top tier fighters in their divisions, but you cannot compare 15 to 25. No. You cannot compare the top girls at 15 would beat Katlyn Chookagian. The top 5.
Yeah, if they were bigger.
Yeah, and not even if they're bigger. Weili Zhang, look at the top 5. Well,
Weili Zhang's a beast.
Weili Zhang beats her. I think Carla Esparza can beat Katlyn Chookagian. I believe Jessica Andrade stopped her.
True.
Stopped her to the body.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You know, it's crazy. And it's not to disrespect Katlyn Chookagian. I do think she has like unique attributes that make her dangerous for anyone. I just don't see, I don't think there's comparison in resumes. I don't. You know, I think Rose has fought hammers.
Yeah.
And she's beaten hammers.
I think another factor here is I think this is another example of, hey, maybe we should wait until the
weigh in. I want to see how they look. I want to see how they look next to each other. I want to see because Rose has put on some weight apparently.
Even the media day stuff. Like, I just want to see where she's at mentally. Because I'm real big, especially on her.
Yeah, because she's a very emotional fighter.
You need to see where her mind state is at. You know what I'm saying? Mind state of mind. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, also weigh-ins. I want to see what she looks like. Apparently, yeah, she's been putting on, you know, some bulk.
Yeah.
It's
interesting.
It's interesting.
Easily the most interesting fight on the card.
Yes.
Easily.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the most interesting fight. I still think the Benoit Saint-Denis fight is gonna be sick.
Yeah, but this is a fight where I might wait for the line to stabilize. If Manon Ferreira drops to like a -160, because I could see late money coming in on Rose, I'll take Manon. If Manon gets pounded and Rose goes up to like a +180, I'll probably take Rose. I'm principle, because I think they both can win this fight. So,
all right, here we are, the main event. We got Ciryl Gane, Bon Gamin. I don't know what that means in French, but that's his nickname. Going against Serghei Spivac, the polar bear. That's in English. I know what that means. Ciryl Gane, 11-2. Hailing from France, fighting from France. Nationality is French. Do they call French fries in France?
They just call them fries.
They just call them fries?
I'm sure, yeah.
Anyway, 33 years old. Going one-on-one with the polar bear, Spivac. 16-3. Fighting out of Moldova. Hailing from Moldova. 28 years old. This fight, I say kind of binary for the most part.
Easy to break down.
Striker, grappler. Who do I like? I like Spivac here.
Polar bear, baby.
I like the dog.
And we Mets fans out here, boy. It's a sign from God.
Pete Alonso.
It's a sign from the power above, you know what I'm saying?
Two polar bears I believe in. Pete Alonso and Serghei Spivac.
Especially in this fight.
Spivac, I mean, man. I don't think Ciryl Gane's fought a grappler this caliber.
No.
Spivac, I don't think he's fought a striker this caliber, though.
Well, Cyryl's John Jones, but...
I mean, is he really like a...
John Jones can grapple.
Yeah, but I don't. And I don't want to get into the John Jones thing. I feel like John Jones, like he's a grappler, but is he really a grappler?
He is.
It's
He has a
weird.
lot of subs, bro. You gotta give him his love. You gotta give him his rub.
It was just weird the way he. I don't know. Listen,
It was a weird way to lock in his submission.
yeah,
right.
it was a weird way to take him down.
I agree.
So Gane, I think Gane probably just got like sucked in the moment there.
I agree.
But he also lost to Francis Ngannou, who
Who wrestled him?
I do not think is a good wrestler.
No, he's gotten better though, but he's not. He's not John Jones or Spivac.
Can Ciryl Gane, like, you know, stand the outside, shuffle left and right, stick and move, frustrate Spivac, keep him away? Sure. But I do think Spivac, he's got a good single leg, he's got a good double leg, he's got a good body lock. And when he ran through, it's not saying much now, but he ran through Derek Lewis, beat the crap out of that man.
And subbed him.
Spivac's a big guy.
He's gonna be bigger than Ciryl.
Spivac's striking has been getting better. It's not going to be Ciryl Gane's level. Ciryl Gane's got the kickboxing background, right? So it's like you got to lean Gane there for the striking. But I like Spivac here. Dog shot, grappling. I think if he takes him down, he's going to beat him up. Does this fight go to distance? I don't know.
I don't think so.
5-rounder, two big heavyweights.
If Spivac gets it to the floor, no. If Ciryl has his way, yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Spivac here as just a pure dog shot. I wouldn't be surprised if Gane won.
Not even leaning. We bet him.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we bet him. We bet him at plus 160 because we thought that line was very disrespectful. There's still value on him, guys. He's at plus 142, plus 150 on some of these books.
Yeah.
I think you take him. And I'm going to be honest with you. But continue.
I think he's worth it.
Before I jump in.
No, it's pretty binary. I got to lean the grappler.
Yeah.
And in heavyweight, there's not too many guys who can grapple, and there's not too many guys who can defend grappling.
Yep.
And Gane hasn't looked the best defending any kind of grappling. I guess the John Jones fight, I'll give him a pass. And some people are giving him a pass for the Francis Ngannou fight. I'm not giving him a pass there. I'm sorry. Francis, you could say, oh, well, he was just a bigger dude. He was just
Francis had one leg.
He had
barely
one leg. My man walked in with knee pads and
torn MCL, torn ACL, torn lateral meniscus, torn unilateral, like a whole bunch of shit going on in his knee. And he was able to wrestle him down.
When Ngannou able to use his weight to hold him down, I think Spivac's going to be able to use technique to hold him.
Weight.
And weight.
I think he's going to be the heavier guy in there.
So, like I said, will I be surprised if Gane keeps him out and probably claps him? Nah, not really. But striker versus grappler here, I'm going to lean the grappler in a heavyweight fight.
Over the course of 5 rounds.
Over the course of 5 rounds, yeah. And Spivac got gas.
Yeah.
He don't get tired.
No. And the thing is, over the course of 5 rounds, and the other thing, Spivac, he's training now. He's training under Francis Ngannou's trainer. So he's training with Francis, arguably, with some of the striking and taking bombs. Cyryl's not the biggest heavyweight puncher. And the thing is, the game planning that these guys have, the same thing they did with Francis when he fought Stipe the second time. They've been working with, I think, Serghei for the last 2 or 3 fights, and you've seen the difference in his approach towards these fights. And I think he's going to be able to get him down. And the way he moved around Greg Hardy in that fight, Greg Hardy is a big man, dude. Yeah, he moved him around.
Tossed him.
Don't remember, the technique helps with that.
But look at Derek Lewis, another big guy.
Tossed him around. And Derek Lewis can grapple.
Yeah.
Like, Derek Lewis is more competent with wrestling and grappling and more aware than Ciryl Gane.
Yeah.
I just don't know how Cyryl's going to keep him off of him.
Yeah, again, we spoke about this off camera, but like, my only concern for Spivac, and it could be the key to Ciryl Gane's victory, is how does Spivac get in? Spivac's entries are not the best, but
he could be patient in 5 rounds.
He's got so many ways to grapple, and he could kind of, I don't want to say he's a chain wrestler, but he could kind of chain some stuff together. I think eventually this fight does end up on the ground. If it ends up on the ground, Ciryl Gane's he's got to hold on, because Spivac got some mean ground and pound, man. Got some mean ground and pound, and I could see this. Has Ciryl Gane ever been submitted?
John Jones.
John. Oh, yes, right. Hello, John Jones.
You know, and this is what I'm saying. Like I just see a lot of things that Serghei can exploit in this fight. And if you want the real, I think if he even connects with him at all, if Ciryl is doesn't do his due diligence, it's gonna be a wrap. But I don't know how much due diligence you could do against a guy who's gonna chain wrestle as well as Serghei. Plus, Ciryl notoriously takes off from the gym, is not actively training when there's not a fight. That's not only something he said, that's something that's legitimate. I don't know how really committed he is to the sport. Hard for me to bet on a guy like that, unless he's going against another striker because of his great gifts. But Serghei, in a 5-round fight, he can be patient, the same way Francis was patient with Stipe. Same game planning, relax, let the shots come, and take advantage and exploit the areas when you can. Serghei is the bigger threat to finish this fight. I do not see this fight going the distance if Serghei gets his way, but there's enough value on him to pick him as a dog. Serghei Spivac probably by submission in this fight. I don't see how Serghei, Ciryl has to be perfect for 25 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think Serghei has to be perfect for 25 minutes. I don't necessarily, especially against a guy who doesn't have nuclear power. Ciryl does not have nuclear power. So, yeah, Serghei at dog money. And that's all for this UFC Paris card and the end of the Access to Combat episode 28. Love you guys. You already know the business. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right now, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, drop a comment, feed the algorithm, help us out.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, 100 subscribers by the end of the year, guys. That's our goal. Help us hit it. Free 99. Show us some love. Make some money. Have some fun. Holla at ya. Love ya. Episode 28 in the books. End of the summer, baby. Let's get it. Let's finish off strong.